I haven't played Dying Light 2 since November of 2022 when Bloody Ties released. And while I enjoyed Bloody Ties, there wasn't a whole lot to do with the entire DLC. The story was bland and the content was lackluster, so I stopped playing. Easy as that. With it being 3/4 of a year since I last played, I figured now would be a good time to download Dying Light 2 again and dive back in to see what has changed, and I gotta say, it's not much. What's going on, guys? I'm Freight, and thank you for clicking on the video. Unfortunately, this video is not going to be handing out praises and good things to say about the current state of Dying Light 2, and to be honest, with Tencent purchasing a huge share of Techland, the future looks pretty grim for this parkour zombie slayer. I kinda have a big problem with Dying Light 2 and the direction Techland has taken this game, so if you don't want to hear a bunch of bad news, you might want to go ahead and click off the video now, but if you are still here, maybe you feel the same way I do. So let's talk about it. There really isn't a whole lot that has been brought into the world of Dying Light 2 in the past 9 months. What we do have is the Good Night Good Luck update and some community maps. We also got Spike with the Pilgrim's Outpost bounties. However, they are only accessible through creating a Techland GG account, which most of us probably have, and going to the website to activate bounties. What the actual fuck is the reasoning for that? Why did they do this as opposed to actually adding Spike in the game like they've done with Harper and Shenzhou? I know I'm not the smartest, but I couldn't find him anywhere on the map, because he hasn't actually returned like Techland says. But now he is just up on a web page, and it feels to me like they are just trying to drive more traffic to their website. It was extremely lazy and a bad move on their part. Why put forth the effort of actually adding him into the game, right? We did also get the Gut Feeling update, which, made changes to melee combat and how it works, the physics, and the gore detail, but they only did that as a response to how Dead Island 2 operates with its flesh system. So we get to cut off body parts differently, and a lot of people might like that, but however, it's I don't know, it's silly. It's something that should have been there from the start, and overall it doesn't add more value to the game. It's just something that should have been there since the original release, and I don't know, man, it's not enough to make people come back to the game. And now we'll talk about some of the features that came with the Good Night Good Luck update. This is straight off Techland's webpage, and it reads, "In this update, we aim to enhance the nighttime aspect of this unique feature by introducing heightened tension, horror, and the presence of roaming volatiles. To achieve this, we are implementing a series of modifications, and they are as follows: ensuring that the night has a heavy, almost horror-like feel, a new color grading called Darker Nights, updated flashlight rendering to create more dynamic shadows, improved audio gameplay solidifies the nocturnal atmosphere, HUD improvements, volatiles roam across the rooftops, night population of zombies have been reworked to create more unexpected moments, chase sequences are less arcade-like and more unpredictable." So that's what we got with the nighttime changes, which again, this should have been there from the start. So adding it now, almost 8-9 months later, to a player base that isn't nearly as vast as it was from the start is just, it feels like a backwards play. But we did get some parkour changes, and as someone who has platinumed all of the challenges, it doesn't really feel too much different. Maybe just a little bit more smooth, and the mechanics are a little bit more flowy. It feels a little bit more smooth. I mean, I'll be honest, I'll give them a little bit of credit. The parkour does feel easier, like it's not such a learning curve. If you were to start playing Dying Light 2 today, you would definitely never know the difference between the past and present. but we'll read them off anyway. Several animations have been improved to reduce floatiness. Personalize your sprinting experience with the option to switch between auto and manual mode. Keep your momentum while performing a series of parkour moves. Regain air control mid-flight, allowing for reactive maneuvers. Added a variety of vault animations. Tweaked after boost mechanic. Accelerate down zip lines and during pipe slides for a thrilling descent. Whatever that means. And a bunch of other various parkour improvements, but none of which really, again, add more value to the game. And then we got the assisted parkour, which is good for beginners, and then physical parkour, which I use, and again, it just doesn't really feel different. But that's what they brought. That's what they brought with the Good Night, Good Luck update. Which, you know, don't get me wrong, it is an improvement. However, it's something that should have been there from the start. But I gotta give them respect and credit where it's due. At least they're doing something to make the game feel the way it should have from the start. But it just feels like too little too late. And with that out of the way, I cannot fathom how they still have not fixed spider grabs. Within the 30 minutes I started playing, I'd probably been grabbed about 42 times. And like, I cannot understand why it's still a problem. For me, as soon as it started happening, I already wanted to quit playing. I kept doing it because I wanted to make this video. I wanted to see what else they've added to the game. And it's no fun getting grabbed by every zombie you see. It's not fun at all. So in the 9 months that I've been away, the only additional content they've brought is the Good Night, Good Luck update, which isn't really new content as much as it is something that should have been implemented from the start, and a website-based bounty board with the facade of Spike helping you and giving you actual bounties to do. I thought maybe they added some stuff into Bloody Ties and the Carnage Hall, so I went over to the Carnage Hall hoping I would find some new stuff, and lo and behold, nothing. It's the same old boring Carnage Hall. Why not add some more challenges to it, or, you know, anything at all to a paid DLC? Why not make it any more fun instead of, hey, this is it and it's done, and enjoy the 2 hours of gameplay you can get out of it. Thanks for the $10. The only real thing Dying Light 2 has going for it at the moment are the community maps. There are a lot of decent maps available to download and play once you figure out how, and they can keep you entertained for quite some time. However, if you're on console, you're shit out of luck because console players are unable to play the map packs at this time. It is strictly a PC thing, and I'm sure they plan on releasing map packs to consoles at some point, but why release them at all if not everybody gets to enjoy them? The only other updates we have gotten are some bug fixes and some bad community events that still seem to piss people off. And Techland has this, oh, buy this new cool skin weapon cosmetic for $7 or $8, reusing old machete animations for bowing knives instead of creating new ones, and using old animations in general as opposed to spending a little bit of time in creating new stuff. I mean, I know I'm being really harsh, but dude, Techland is totally putting in the least amount of effort they can, and this game has become kind of a joke. I legit could not stand playing this game for more than 3 hours before I shut it off and uninstalled it to make this video. I have absolutely no idea how guys like Oni Zombies, Best Gamer Ali, Aussie GG, and all the other big names part of the Dying Light 2 community can even stand playing this game anymore. Maybe it's just me and I'm the asshole, but I find zero enjoyment in playing this game anymore. I will, however, keep my ear to the ground and keep my fingers crossed that with Tencent acquiring a big portion of Techland, they will be able to turn it around, but I have a feeling it will really just be littering the game with microtransactions. I mean, Tencent is 100% known for putting as many microtransactions into games they own or create or acquire and squeezing out every penny they can get from their player bases. Overall, this game has come a long way and it went in the wrong direction time after time. They have dropped the ball time after time. They have let down the players again and again, time after time. We are barely at 10k players on average when we had over 100k, and we had about 250k when this game first released. They pushed away so many players and left such a bad taste in their mouths that they're not coming back and they have no desire to play this game again. But for the current players who are sticking around, they are some truly loyal fans who truly love Techland and keep giving good information and input on how to make the game better. Techland owes those 10k, 20k players everything. Everything. Maybe I'll come back if they bring Kyle Crane back, but it has to be in the correct way and not just a half-assed attempt at a DLC or making an add-on or a paid DLC that is, absolutely gonna be trash just for them to make a quick buck and capitalize off our nostalgia. I give mad respect to the boys still playing the game, but for me, I'm gonna have to say to Aiden and Techland, good night and good luck for the last time. I do truly hope to see them again in the future, but it's gonna have to be a major turnaround for me to come back. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you all stuck around to the end, feel free to share your comments with me. And I know I'm being kind of harsh and critical, but this game is a really big letdown for me. And I'm just one player. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all are being safe and having a good day. Take care. Choo choo.